Portal is all about movement. Portal strives to move faster than its input, and in doing so must travel back to the origin to begin its journey again. Similar to a wavefolder, Portal multiplies the harmonics of a signal going through it. However, instead of the output wave being folded over on itself, once the input hits a certain threshold voltage, the output will jump back to zero, creating a sharp transition, almost like the wave has traveled through a portal. When fed with a triangle or sawtooth, this can create an effect similar to oscillator sync, but without the need for a second modulating oscillator. When fed with complex audio sources, the results are devastating, turning just about anything that goes through it into mad screams from another dimension. Portal has 4 main controls, each with a dedicated attenuverter or attenuator. The most important of the 4 controls being the wrap knob. This knob controls the number of wraps that will be made for one input oscillator cycle, with the overall range of wraps being set by the high-low switch. With the switch in the low position, a signal with peak-to-peak amplitude of 10 volts will be wrapped about 5 times, whereas with the switch in the high position, the same signal will be wrapped about 50 times. With the wrap knob all the way counterclockwise and a positive signal applied to the control voltage input, Portal can behave as a glitchy VCA, although there will be some DC offset at low wrap settings from sample and hold. The track control allows the user to modulate how well the wrapping effect works, all the way to shutting the effect off completely when the track control is fully counterclockwise. Many sweet spots can be found exploring the points right before the effect becomes silent. Sending gates into track can create the sort of stuttering hard tremolo effects often found in industrial music. The track control has a dedicated trimmer on the back of the module that may have to be adjusted as differences in power supply cause different behaviors for this control. Users are encouraged to adjust this trimmer to their own taste. The bias control is a DC offset to the input of the wrapping effect, which allows either for a second signal to be mixed in before the wrapping effect, or for the input signal to be pushed into the voltage rails and clipped. This is the only control that has an attenuator instead of an attenuverter, since it is very sensitive to small input fluctuations. In this way, the attenuator knob kind of acts like the wrap amount for a second signal source being added to the main input, although it does not have voltage control. This is the only bipolar control on Portal, so it has the most effect when the knob is either fully counterclockwise or fully clockwise, and has the least effect when the knob is pointing towards noon. The feedback control feeds the output of the wrap signal back into the input. This effect bypasses the wrap input VCA, and so will not respond to the wrap control. However, at low settings, it does allow the effect to generate more harmonics. At the highest feedback settings, the wrap output will become much quieter because it is wrapping your signal all the way into ultrasound audio. Use of a downsampler can shift these high frequencies back into the audible frequency spectrum. In addition to the normal wrap output, the round and spike outputs provide very different effects, which are both related to the wrap output. Round will give a staircase-like approximation of the input signal, with the step size being set by the wrap amount. This can be thought of as a quantizer or bit crusher, but accomplished with purely analog circuitry. This is the output to use if you want to preserve the low end of your signal. The spike output gives a tiny trigger whenever a new rap or staircase is performed by the other outputs, resulting in a crackly, broken-sounding version of the input audio. Both round and spike outputs can be influenced by all of the voltage control inputs. Mixing of all three signals usually yields pleasant results. Use Portal as the demented timbre section to your complex oscillator. Portal can take LFOs and other modulation and turn them into audible chirps and beeps. Use the round output to create staircase shapes from wobbly modulation sources, or use the spike output to extract triggers from modulation. Process drums for maximum industrial destruction. With wrap all the way down and an oscillator going into the bias input, the round output can act like a downsampler. Portal synergizes really well with downsamplers like the Spectrometer, because Portal is creating so many harmonics and the Spectrometer sculpts them and takes them away. Downsamplers also shift ultrasound into the audible spectrum. Tearing through the rift between dimensions, Portal can twist just about anything into a perverse distortion of its previous form. Several pathways through the portal allow the traveler a myriad of unusual ways to transform a signal, from crunchy lows to piercing hisses and unparalleled squelch. Enter the portal and channel otherworldly messages into your music with the Mystic Circuits Portal.